Hello and welcome to Panther Sports, your one-stop shop for all things athletic here at High Point University. I'm your host, Matt Perry. This past weekend, the High Point University baseball team hosted Presbyterian College for a 3-game series down at Willard Stadium. In Game 1's matchup on Friday, junior Ryan Retz pitched his second complete game of the season. He allowed only 1 run on 3 hits and had 4 strikeouts. Behind the bats of Sal Pizzino, Devin Bonovsky, and Dade McDermott, the Panthers would give Retz more than enough run support to secure his 6th victory on the mound. High Point would win Game 1 of the series 5-1. Game 2 took place the following day, and High Point's Matt Armstead would give the Panthers another solid pitching performance. Armstead went 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 5 hits and striking out 5. Unfortunately, High Point was unable to capitalize on some early run-scoring opportunities and fell to Presbyterian 3-1 after a 9th inning rally by the Blue Hose. With the series tied at 1, High Point looked to clinch the series with a win on Sunday. Jacob Newberry took the mound for the Panthers and pitched 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs on 6 hits and 4 walks. Newberry also struck out 5 batters. The Blue Hose jumped out on top with a few early runs, and High Point would struggle to get anything going offensively. The Panthers would lose Game 3 and lose the series with a final score of 7-2. Sal Pizzino would extend his hitting streak to 15 games with a single in the 2nd inning. High Point kicks off a 6-game road trip tonight when they travel to Chapel Hill to face the 8-seeded Tar Heels of North Carolina. Last Wednesday, the High Point women's lacrosse program traveled and took on 6th-ranked Blue Devils of Duke University. The Lady Panthers held their own in the first half and even kept a 2-goal lead until the final minutes before halftime. Mackenzie Carroll and Christy Docherty scored twice, and Anna Wallingford made 12 saves, but Duke was too much to handle. The Blue Devils would use a 7-goal run in the second half to pull away for a 16-7 victory. But the Lady Panthers did not let that loss slow them down. 2 days later, they played the Bison of Howard University in a National Lacrosse Conference game. High Point would have 4 players score hat-tricks on their way to a crushing 21-5 victory. Sarah Kuhlman, Kendall Gardner, Kelsey Mugel, and Grace Gang all scored 3 times in the contest. Gang also had a game-high 4 assists. This past Sunday, the Lady Panthers traveled to Michigan to face the University of Detroit Titans. High Point continued their dominant play as Sarah Kuhlman and Alexis Goldman each scored 4 goals to lead the Panthers. Grace Gang set a High Point University women's lacrosse program record with 8 assists to help the Panthers defeat Detroit 19-8. Mackenzie Carroll and Heather Ziccarelli scored 3 goals as well. The High Point University men's golf team finished their 3rd and final round of the Coca-Cola Invitational last Tuesday in Spartanburg, South Carolina. With a combined score of 296 in the 3rd round, the Panthers would finish in a tie for 8th out of 18 teams. Senior Curtis Brotherton led the Panthers with a 1-under-71. The Panthers are currently participating in the Big South Conference Championship at the Patriot Golf Club in 96, South Carolina. After the first round, High Point is in 8th place, led by junior Chase Wilson, who carded a 1-under-73. 2 days ago, Chase Wilson was actually named to the member of the 2011-2012 Big South All-Academic team. Wilson is a business major with a 3.52 GPA, and he leads HPU with an average of 73.64 strokes per round. The High Point University women's golf team finished their season last Wednesday with their Big South Conference championship. Freshman Greer Bennett led the Panthers with a 3-round total of 236, tying her for 20th overall. Don't go anywhere, because right after this short break, we'll be chatting with High Point track runner Jacob Smith. We'll be right back.
At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. With rigorous academics and stellar faculty, students enjoy state-of-the-art facilities inside the classroom and across campus. In the last 6 years, the university has achieved high rankings and has tripled in enrollment and national stature. Our focus is on holistic education, on experiential learning, and on values-based living. That's High Point University, extraordinary.
Welcome back to Panther Sports. With me now is Jacob Smith of the High Point University track and field team. Jacob, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I got to ask you first off, how did you get involved with running as a young kid? It seems like a lot of kids want to play football, basketball, or baseball. Running, I would think, is not one of the high options there.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I started out in 8th grade, kind of just I did it, I guess, just to get out of class mostly. On one track meet, my coach back home now, he came up to me after, and I guess I ran pretty well, so he said I should come out for the team.
Now you're actually on the cross-country team here as well, along with the track and field team. What is the biggest difference between running track and running cross-country?
Well, obviously there's you're on the track and like you run through field stuff, but mostly for us, it's cross country. You're building more base, so higher mileage and more longer tempo sort of stuff. Track will get into more speed development, and for me specifically, I do steeplechase, so I have to practice hurdle mobility and getting over the barriers.
What are some of the biggest things in the steeplechase? Because it's one of those events in track where it combines not only athleticism but also a little bit of distance running.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a harder event. It takes a lot of focus, I think. It can be a little intimidating to some people, so I think that was the biggest part of getting over that and moving from there.
Is it anything different moving from just running, say, an normal event in track and field to then doing the steeplechase?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to have the endurance for the long distance race, and you also have like the hurdle technique to get over it efficiently and not drain too much energy. Now,
you were just recently named one of the Big South Track Athletes of the Week. What does that honor mean to you personally?
It was great. Like some other guys recently have been, like great guys have been named Athlete of the Week. So to be up there with them, it's kind of cool, and it was from a good race, so I'm happy with it.
Now your season's almost winding down here as the Big South Conference Championship looms in the very near future. What are you looking to do in that event, or in that event championship?
Well, personally, I'm running the steeplechase and the 5K at the championships, so I'm trying to win both of them, get our team a few points so we can get towards that team title.
And that team title, of course, is what the ultimate goal, I would take it, right?
Yeah.
And now in terms of the steeplechase for you and the 5K, which one for you would you like to, I guess not say do better in, but which one are you looking to perform in?
I'd say most definitely the steeplechase. I'm trying to make it to nationals this year in that event, so I'm trying to really focusing on that one this year.
Now long term for you, looking after your time here at High Point University, will running be something you continually do after you graduate?
Yeah, I'd most definitely love to try. I got to get my times down a little lower, but given a couple of years after college would be great.
How much running do you do during the week to prepare?
Well, right now I'm averaging about 80 to 85 miles a week, and then practices track workouts 2 to 3 times a week.
Is there any real difference in practicing for track and field compared to, besides just being on the track, compared to say cross country?
Yeah, absolutely. It's more individually oriented in track, I think. Cross country, there's the team mentality because every cross country meet you go to, there's the team championship on the line. But track for me, I'd say it's my favorite. I get to focus more on myself. And
is it harder when you're practicing for track because you know it's that individual thing and you're not necessarily relying on a team?
It is, but it's not at the same time because you don't have the pressure of performing for your team every time. You can do it for yourself, which I like the most.
Is that something you like, the fact that it's more individual, that you don't have to worry about everybody else, and it's just you can focus on you and practice as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely more my thing.
Why would you say that? Because it seems like as a person who plays on a team, you kind of would look at that and say team helps and everything like that.
It does. In cross country, my mentality switches almost 100%. Like I'm team oriented all the way, and then track coach always says this is my season to be selfish, I guess. So I get to go out there and do my own thing.
Now you're from Canada, correct?
Yeah.
Now up in Canada, you can't really run year round. How hard is that?
It's pretty difficult. We have some pretty good facilities where I am, where we can run indoors. There's a 400-meter indoor track and stuff, so it goes well.
Well, that should be a lot of fun, and of course you'll be coming up on the season here. Best of luck with that as you get prepared for the championship. Thanks so much. That looks like all the time we have for today's show, but be sure to tune in next week to keep up to date on all the High Point University athletics. Have a good night, everybody.
At High Point University, every student receives an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. With rigorous academics and stellar faculty, students enjoy state-of-the-art facilities inside the classroom and across campus. In the last 6 years, the university has achieved high rankings and has tripled in enrollment and national stature. Our focus is on holistic education, on experiential learning, and on values-based living. That's High Point University. Extraordinary.